What's going on YouTube? This is Daniel Rucker with True Table. Welcome to the table. Today, I'm going to be discussing a topic that I believe is very, very important. And why do I believe it's important? Well, basically, what I hear and continue and consistently see is that people now are starting to struggle with the idea that the way you look and the way that you present yourself in the world is important. And it's shocking to me because I assume most people knew this. But there's a lot of talk in the YouTube space, in the relationship space, in the manosphere space about what is proper when you decide to step out your house. What does the presentation look like? So before I get started, go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe. I gladly appreciate it. And I'm gonna do my best to articulate today what I believe is the issue. So, as you guys know, on this channel, we gets cooking. So I'm about to step into the kitchen. I'm about to get just cooking. That's what we're gonna do. Now, what led me to want to talk about this today? What led me to want to talk about this today particularly is that I did a video on my channel some time ago called Looks Really Do Matter. And based on the views and the things, it seems to be a video that got a relatively amount of good views, which I appreciate, so thank you. But on top of that, what I start to see now is conversations that are happening on the Lapeef Let's Talk show, the Kevin Samuels show. The Shade Room has been posting things as of lately in reference to, I believe, Monique, the comedian, about a week ago or so, came on and pretty much was saying that she was kind of disturbed about the representation that she was seeing from particularly our community in the women stepping out with these bonnets on their head. Now, I've been a person that I have yet to record my disgust when it comes to something like pajamas, bonnets, and certain representations of self outside of the house. But today, we're gonna touch on that because I believe that is now more relevant than ever. See, people seem to think that you are not gonna be judged. And I'm here to tell you, you're gonna be judged. You as an individual judge, people are gonna judge you. And what most people judge you off of is not how nice you are, it's not how smart you are, it's not how capable you are, how competent you are. None of that stuff matters at first glance. That's not what matters at first glance. What matters at first glance is how you show up in the world. And the way you show up in the world is this suit, this package, the things that they can actually see. Now, why is again this important? It's important because it's relative to value being placed. And I think that's the biggest part of it. See, for someone to sit here and think that you don't get perceived value from your aesthetics is foolish. I would say kind of dumb and kind of ignorant, very naive. And why can I say that? I can say that for multiple reasons. Let's take it off of human beings for a second. Just for a second. Journey with me for a second. I promise it's going to make sense. When you go to a car lot, they have enough sense to know that the likeliness of you buying a car is probably higher if that car is clean, presentable, doesn't have any dents or dings or any exterior damage. Why? Because no one wants to acquire something that is perceived to be damaged, worn, used. No one. It's the same thing with a house. It's the same thing with clothes. It's the same thing with products, period, across the board. So what most companies do is when they present a product, the commercialization of it, they make sure to present it in the best manner they can present it in. Because you, the consumer, are gonna be the one that's gonna decide if it meets your approval, you'll spend your money on it. Okay, let's flip this. It's the same thing with people. See, the difference with purchasing people, because you can't really purchase people. I mean, obviously, there was a time you could, but we're past that era. But anyway, the purchasing of people is you now deciding to invest your time. Now you deciding to invest your energy. And usually what makes that easier to do is when you perceive that that person's aesthetics are appealing and appeasing. They move you in a way to want to even get to know the person. They move you in a way to want to even talk or create an opportunity to talk to that person. And in most cases, this doesn't happen with people who walk out the house with bonnets on their head, in slides with dry toes and ankles and feet, wearing pajamas. It's just not a good look. What it says to the world is that you, one, are lazy. You are not a person of value. You are not a person that cares about themselves in the way that they look. And it's a misrepresentation of potentially who you really may be on the inside. See, no one gets a chance to see that because you're too busy trying to just be comfortable or feeling like, well, it's Wednesday, so I shouldn't have to do anything to myself because either you don't have a man, or you don't have, someone to impress. But I'm here to tell you, their impressions matter regardless if you're in a relationship or not. And the sad part is that a lot of ladies don't understand this. A lot of ladies think that, well, if I'm not in a relationship, then I don't have to perform. No. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. See, the way you act before you get in a relationship determines how you go act when you actually get in the relationship. Like, I'm being facetious right now, but I'm serious. I think people don't take this into account. The way you act in a the way you act single, the way you act before the relationship shows up is exactly how you will act when you're actually in a relationship. And some people on here may be saying, no, Daniel, that's not true. You can't say that. When I get a man, I'm completely different. Well, this here lies the problem, ladies. In order for you to get that man, it requires effort. And see, what I would like to think is, I'll say, is, ladies, when you did catch that man, when did you catch him? Did you catch him when you were walking through the grocery store with loose clothes on and a bonnet on your head and gym clothes or sweats? Or did you catch him when you were presentable? Did you catch him when he seen your hair groomed? Did you catch him when you put some effort into the way you actually look? Because I'm inclined to believe that more than likely, you caught this man's attention in that scenario, not in the fact that you walked out the house not caring about yourself and he just had nothing better to do and he wanted to come across the room and compliment on your bonnet. No, it needs to stop. What it also says is that if you think that pajamas belong outside in the real world during the daytime or the nighttime, you don't have a very strong awareness of what occurs in the real world. Somebody didn't train you right. Somebody didn't educate you on proper presentation. And this can go into different things. This is, can be different. It's multifaceted because representation is huge. It's important. But looks really do matter. And for someone to say that it doesn't, it's BS. I can prove it. I can prove what I say. Profiles online dating wouldn't be a thing if you didn't have people that would present themselves on the profile itself. Tinder wouldn't exist. Bumble wouldn't exist. All of those many dating apps would not exist if looks didn't matter. Because to me, if people want to sit here and try to sell me and hustle me, and mind you can't hustle me, but if you're trying to hustle me on the fact that people care about love, like folks just want to be in love, they want somebody to care for it, I'm gonna say BS. Because if that was the case, if that's all it took was just love, then it wouldn't matter how the person looks. People wouldn't have standards. People wouldn't have a list of what they want that person to potentially look like. Or I'll take it even further. We wouldn't have a beauty industry that's in the billions. Looks matter. And for women to disrespect and disregard the fact that the way you look matters to a man is downright disrespectful. See, men don't care about how smart you are. Men don't care about how kind you are. Men don't care about how giving you are. All that could be great, but if you are not attractive, if you are not putting no effort into the way you look, If you don't feel it necessary to comb your hair, moisturize your skin, put on some proper attire to walk out the house, sweetie, we don't care how great you think you are. And that in lies the point. You can't measure your value from an aesthetic place when you're not the one buying you, when you're not the one pursuing yourself. See, if all that matters is the way you look to yourself, then you would not need a person. You wouldn't be open to actually being with somebody because it wouldn't matter, because you're completely and utterly satisfied with how you represent yourself. Now, I can hear women on here like, so what are you saying, Daniel? You're saying that when I wake up in the morning, if all I got to do is run some errands, or, or I know I'm just going to go to Walmart or go to the post office, that I should actually try, that I should actually put myself together? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying that it doesn't matter. This is a discipline. This is a practice. This is a standard that you set for yourself. Just like you wake up and brush your teeth in the morning and hopefully shower and wash your butt, you shouldn't walk out the house with any type of clothes on. It's craziness to me. And see, to even take it deeper, if they wanted pajamas to be the uniform for the day, then you would go to offices during normal business hours and see people on the clock in pajamas. When the designer of pajamas made pajamas, they created those things to belong in the house when you're about to go to sleep. The bonnet, same thing. When the creator of the bonnet created the bonnets, they didn't create the bonnet for you to take this bonnet and wreak havoc on all of our eyes in public, to destroy our day and wreck our day because we gotta look at the freaking saran wrap looking cap on your head because you're lazy. No. And what you're saying, ladies, is that you really don't care how men see you. You're repelling potential all because you decide that it's too much. It's too much effort. Well, I'm gonna hip you to something real quick. I'm gonna tell you this right now, so that way you don't waste your time. So we can go ahead and shorten this up for you pursuing and thinking that you're gonna actually catch a man. If you don't have enough energy, enough discipline, enough of a desire to want to do something as simple as not walk out the house with a bonnet on, you are not equipped to be with a man. You don't qualify because you do not possess the necessary work ethic of something as simple as taking care of yourself in a way that was be blessed, pleasing for his eyes, not your eyes. And no man, I repeat, no man that is of quality will want to waste his time with a lazy woman who midday thinks it is totally okay to walk out the house with a bonnet on and think this is the thing to do. They'll sleep with you. Oh yeah, they'll sleep with you. They'll bend you over all day, no problem. But take you seriously? Want to make you a part of his team? Nah, that's not happening. The representation that you're presenting is contrary to his brand of a man. He doesn't want you. And if you're interested in men, and you're interested in men of quality, then I encourage you, ladies, to put some effort into the way you look. Get groomed, get waxed, do your hair, whatever it may take. I don't care how much it costs. I don't care if it costs. It's a part of the female plight. It is a part of being a woman. Just like there's things that come with being a man that we didn't ask for, that they just come. You're a man, it shows up. Responsibility. Well, these are your responsibilities. These are your accountability. And with all the independence and all the earnings and all the extra education and all of the boss-like ladies out here, it really shouldn't be a problem. Shouldn't be an issue at all. So that's what I wanted to touch on today. Looks really do matter. And when you got somebody like Monique coming on her live or wherever she posted it to state this point, well, then I think it's a real problem. Monique's a big lady. She's always been big. Even she sees a problem with it. So, ladies, get it together. That's it for today. I'm gonna go ahead and slide out the kitchen, This is Daniel Rucker with True Table. Go ahead and share. Go ahead and like the content. I appreciate it. We're going to continue to bring you this content because I want to continue to have these conversations about things that I know are plaguing our society and keeping people single, keeping people with lacking the ability to attract quality. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna continue to talk about it. So this is Daniel Rucker again with True Table signing out. You guys have a good one. Thank you for hanging out with me.